Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
I honestly, considering that Paladins was initially getting flack for being like an Overwatch clone because it's like a hero-based first-person shooter, the fact that they were able to take the engine that they had made and go, now there's 100 people is pretty impressive.
Like, I doubt Overwatch could do that.
Yeah.
I would be surprised that they're not working on it, but...
Does anyone have the video of Graham's PUBG joke compilation? I tweeted it. It was like an embedded Twitter video. Well, I retweeted it.
It's almost like coming up with the idea.
So if somehow I hadn't checked out what Loading Ready Run was doing for about a decade and only now found out how much I missed it. Hey, welcome back. Wow. The notion that we could have been doing, we've been around for so long that someone could have fallen off a decade ago and come back and been like, oh yeah, these guys. Yeah, that was the funny part when I ran into a guy, really crust punk looking dude hanging outside a pizza place, smoking a cigarette, and he was like, "Hey, you're Graham, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." "Nice. Used to watch your stuff when I was like 12." And I was like,
Is crust punk like steampunk but with pizza?
"Oh, you'll have to ask Kathleen for a full explanation of crust punk."
Okay. Deep dish punk.
Awesome. There's the tweet. 10 years ago, LRR was doing the Halo vid. Yeah, that was a good video. Any stories on Jeff Goldblum's extreme fishing? No. Though that sounds amazing. It's not from Night in the Woods, Doodles. It's a real thing. But Kathleen, like, it came up on stream during Night in the Woods because they were describing some characters, and then Kathleen was like, "Oh my God, they're crust punks." And then,
I'm gonna plug a thing in, sorry.
oh yeah, everyone plug your ears. Ma. And then Kathleen was like, "Oh, they're crust punks." And then I think it was Corey had to be like, "What? What is what?" And she had to explain. I was genuinely happy when a drunk and or a high crust punk came up to me and asked me if he could have my scarf because he thought it would go well for his style. Didn't actually make any noise. Wow, apparently there was no sound, Paul.
Is my mic actually on? Maybe.
Yeah?
I did not put the right one on.
Did you unmute it?
I thought I did.
Nope. No, it's not working.
Well then.
Well, that explains that.
What am I plugged in?
You should be plugged into number 2, because that's the one with the green tape on it. We had a labeling system. Oh.
I turned it up, but did not unmute it.
Oh, okay, he turned it up but forgot to. There we go.
There we go. I protected your ears.
It was all intentional.
Yes. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
This is this is actually the first checkpoint of 2018.
Oh, right, we were going to do that joke. So originally we had planned that we'd be doing an episode on January 1st, because that was Monday. But scheduling weren't able to make that work with like holidays and childcare and stuff. And so the joke we were going to make was the Game of the Year 2018 so far is, and then just something that had come out on Steam in the like 6 hours of that had existed in 2018 so far.
Yeah.
Because there's always trash coming out on Steam. As it is now, what games have come out in technically this calendar year?
Do you think? I know James was talking about for New Day tomorrow. I think his plan is to play like a Steam assortment.
Ooh, Steam assortment.
because there hasn't been any like big releases in the last couple weeks because of, you know, holidays and so forth.
Here are all the video games releasing in January. Not a lot.
Nope,
No.
not a lot. Everyone is asleep.
Let's go to Steam.
This is why the news for Checkpoint is always a little tricky
Yeah.
in the early part, in the last part of the year and the early part of the year. Last part of the year, the problem is that everyone is doing like year-end recaps, which are interesting but not worthy or not applicable for Checkpoint. And in the early part of the year, there's just nothing going on. All right. Well, let's talk about stories.
I'm trying to log into Steam. Aha.
So, starting with.
Well, what was the first story that we actually did in the show?
The first story that we actually did in the show was Kathleen being sick, but that wasn't really a
Right. That's
gaming
not
news
like
story.
Yeah.
Get well soon. The first story we actually did on the show, I will tell you as soon as Google Drive loads. Which is
Oh, right. Yeah. Friday the
Which is
13th. I know that it was like crazy popular on Twitch for like a week. Like blink and you miss it. But yeah, Friday the 13th was the number 3 game on PlayStation.
It was threatening our to be the 18th game a few times, I know, for 18 games and counting, but it never quite made it. We played a different asymmetrical horror game. Because it's like an asymmetrical...
Oh yeah, you played the game. Yeah. I remember seeing that one where you played that, like the multiplayer walking around in the dark.
Yeah.
Stabbing people.
Exactly. The multiplayer walking around stabbing people game.
Yeah.
Although I guess to be fair, that could cover a lot of
Dead by
games.
Daylight.
Dead by Daylight.
Yeah. Oh right, that whatever the Vive news is literally just happened.
Did anything happen?
The Vive Pro? I haven't seen it. This just occurred just now.
The
Neat, I guess. It's got built-in headphones and it's wireless. That's cool.
wireless is actually kind of a big deal if it actually works.
Yeah, it looks ugly as fuck, but I mean, what do you care? You can't see it.
Exactly. Wireless is a big deal if they can actually get it to work properly.
Yeah.
The latency has always been the problem, though, because especially for VR, the latency is so important.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Vomit everywhere.
Speaking of vomit everywhere.
What a great segue.
Not one of the stories we did, but one of the stories I was looking at is the same guy who does all of the Mario 64 mods.
Oh, yes.
The same guy who did the multiplayer Mario 64,
Yes.
and the same guy who did the play as other characters Mario 64, has made a first-person Mario 64 mod. And holy crap, that's because he spent a bunch of effort to make sure that the camera does actually reflect like Mario's head.
Yeah.
And so like you do like a backflip and it goes like whoa, poof, and it's just, or like trying to it's just there's like Mario does a lot of like running around and spinning that you don't really think about too much when it's third person, but in first person
That's the Mirror's Edge problem.
yeah. And except there's no there's no like stabilization or whatever, right?
No.
It's just straight. And it's even just like watching another little like YouTube thing, I was like, I don't think I want to play this. Or when you fight Bowser, because when you fight Bowser, you've got to like spin around.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
Tingle. Ripened Tingle's balloon trip of love.
Yeah.
See, he's ripened because in that game he's like 35.
Yeah, apparently he started at like 30
Yeah.
in the first, in Medro's Mask.
Ripened is an interesting choice of translation, but they've been working on it for 5 years, so I assume it's the best they could come up with.
Yeah. This is, by the way, the fourth Tingle.
Do you know there's 4 Tingle games?
4th Tingle game. There's another. There's one that's actually like a remake of Balloon Fight, but with Tingle, which to me makes a lot of sense. Like I can see that. Probably makes more sense than the rest of the Tingle games. But yeah, it turns out he is. Like how many? Like there haven't been like there's been a fair number of Zelda games, but not that many.
Yeah.
It's been like what 10 Zelda games, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, probably between 10 and 12. Well, there's a lot of DS ones, actually. There's a lot of handheld ones, like Spirit Tracks and
That's true.
Minish Cap, and then Four Swords and Four Swords Adventures, which I think is a different thing, or at least a remake or something. Anyway. Yeah, game's done quick. Just don't look at the chat. It's a complete waste of everyone's time.
Yeah.
They actually, I tweeted about this. It's actually worse now. Because before, it was like a bunch of bullshit, but then occasionally some people would actually be commenting on what was happening on this thing that the chat room is supposedly associated with. And now there's none of that. Now it is literally all just memes and spam and emotes relating to the fact that the chat is in sub mode. They may as well not be watching.
This is like the third day, because they start on Friday, right? Or
no.
Saturday?
Saturday? I think they actually started for real yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yesterday morning they started for real. There was a pre-show.
It's like this has been, like it's not like this just happened and everyone's reacting to it. This is, like it's been this way for a while now, and people are still started Sunday morning. Okay.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
it's weird that for something that is so predominantly positive, like the content they're putting out, occasionally 1 or 2 shitty people have like been on camera over the course of the years of it, but that's definitely the minority. The vast majority of the people there are working so hard to do such a good thing, and they're putting out such great positive content. And it's surprising that it attracts this density of assholes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the chat is worse than a comparably sized stream would be. If it's just a stream size thing, as opposed to,
once it gets to that level.
Yeah, it's just the, the people who are spamming and wanting to be assholes tend to talk more than the other people. And so as you get more
density of assholes sounds like a good band name.
As you get more of them in your, as you get more of them in the chat, the percentage of messages that are from assholes goes up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if somebody can figure out a solution to that problem, I'm sure there's a lot of money in it. But
yeah, that's
why how to manage a chat when you have 100,000 people watching is a pretty tough one.
The statement from the person who set up the GDQ poverty restream, I thought was unintentionally hilarious, because that was from a post that they made on Reddit, and they were like, it was great initially, and then like more people started showing up, and then it got kind of not great. So then I did like the slow mode, and then that didn't work, and so we introduced moderation polls, and then it got worse, and then it just got like worse and worse, and then the whole thing got shut down, and it's like, yeah, really, really, I wonder why, because he set that up to protest.
Yeah.
The like, how dare they try and silence people? We're gonna show them, and it's like, oh, how's that going for you? now you see. So, and then the Star Citizen story.
Yeah,
a lot of money.
But like,
good for them.
As people in the chat are saying, the closest sort of we see is like Desert Bus chat, which is, obviously is even though chat is very positive and it's a very positive thing. Even that, and that is an order of magnitude less popular than AGDQ. Like we're talking, you know, thousands of people as opposed to hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
And even that, and even though the chat for Desert Bus and everything is very well intentioned, just that volume of people, it's difficult to have any kind of coherentness to it.
Yeah.
Even when people aren't deliberately trolling and stuff.
It's tough.
If you get 100 times more people doing, and not necessarily, you know, people who aren't necessarily there for positive reasons, it's very tricky.
Yeah. And then Paladins. Is that now adding Paladins Battlegrounds? Because it turns out you can't actually just copyright the word Battlegrounds, though I'm sure they'll try.
Place where battle happens.
But yeah, the trailer is just like the top-down shot of the map and then showing like the death counter and everything, and it's like, oh yeah, I guess that is a little on the nose, but...
I mean, I'm assuming that's why it's called PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds in the first place, is that just Battlegrounds isn't actually enough of a name.
But again, what I said earlier, really, it is impressive to me that an engine in a game that they designed as a hero shooter is even scalable to having 100 players. And obviously, I assume you'll have a lot of duplicate heroes.
Right.
But, you know, I'm positive you couldn't do that with Overwatch.
No, it's just the engine isn't designed that way.
Yeah, which is not, by the way, it's not an indictment of Overwatch because they knew what kind of game they were making.
They have different priorities.
Yeah, and I'm not like, Paladin, look at how much better made. That's not what I'm saying. It's just impressive that they were able to like course correct into something that flexible.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see. I mean, I'm not.
Why doesn't Twitch implement rooms? They have actually, or at least they said they were going to.
I'm not that into PUBG as such, but the idea of like PUBG, except the people have like supers and people have.
Yeah, isn't that going to be weird?
Have different moves and stuff, or you know.
Because the resource acquisition is like an interesting part of the gameplay.
Right.
Like the early game in PUBG when everyone's just like, I'm gonna punch you, or I got my one pistol. You know, like that's something that theoretically won't exist in this when it's like, I have all my skills. Like presumably your skills will start on cooldown or something, but anyway, Unsung Guy's Engagement Island. Oh, that's a good one.
All right, so stuff we didn't talk about.
NVIDIA has added a way to make your games ugly, which is nice.
Yeah.
So the NVIDIA Experience lets you, the new freestyle feature lets you add, like, basically Instagram filters.
Yeah,
there's, among the other things it can do, is some apparently very useful stuff for colorblind players. So that's great. But their main selling point is like, look, you can play your game in black and white or sepia tone or put like a cool color filter on it. And that's like, why?
Is it actually doing it live to the game, not just like to a screenshot that you take?
Let me double check.
But like NVIDIA, and I don't know whether AMD is into this too, but NVIDIA seems to be like really...
No, it's as you're playing.
That's actually kind of cool. But like NVIDIA seems to be into this idea of like making, they don't want to be just like the dumb graphics card.
No, they're really trying to just wedge
get in there
in between you and the game. They're trying to be
so
like,
they want to,
hello.
They want to provide features that were previously provided by the game.
Yeah.
They want to provide themselves through their NVIDIA Experience stuff.
Yeah.
And it's weird. Like I'm not used to the. Like it's because you end up with a situation where it's like you're running a game in Steam, and so there's the Steam overlay,
yeah,
and then NVIDIA has its own overlay, And then, the game itself has whatever overlay or whatever, like, menu system. And so depending on what key commands you put, or, like, you hit, like, the middle button in your controller, it could open up all sorts of different things with all sorts of different sort of layers of functionality over top of each other. Like, you could take, like, you can take a screenshot. Like, in most games, there's a way to take a screenshot. Steam can take a screenshot of any game on Steam.
Yep.
And NVIDIA can take a screenshot of any game.
And Windows has the Xbox integration now.
And Windows has So if you say, like, mine's
recording all the time.
If you want to take a screenshot of a game, there's a whole plethora of ways to do that. And it's not like, and those are all, like, running all simultaneously. And you have to decide which one to actually use.
Yeah.
Which seems odd. And yeah, and if you're streaming, you might have another overlay. Oh yeah, also NVIDIA and Steam can both also stream if you want.
Yeah.
And record gameplay. Like, it just...
Because we keep having that pop up on our thing when they're like, when we start, like, whenever we start a game on stream, we've disabled it now, but for, like, watch and play, we'd be like, all right, Alex, and this game. And then NVIDIA up in the corner would be like, hey, press Control Z to find out about my features. And I'm like, stop, go away.
No, go away.
Players of Gravity Rush 2 are in a gravity rush of their own.
Ha! That's why I get the big bucks. What is a gravity rush?
I don't know. I've never played it, but it looks neat. It's a primarily single-player game, but there's a bunch of stuff involving online interactions, including, like, unique items that you can only get by completing objectives involving these online interactions, and they're shutting the servers down. So players are in a rush to complete these objectives to get those items, because once the servers go down on the 18th, they'll never be able to get them again. Yeah, the game's only been out for a year, but it's one of these games where it never really took off the way they were hoping, and keeping the servers online is not cost effective, I guess. Yeah. But there's an interview with the guy who's talking about, like, he got it on Steam sale like months ago. Yeah. And then heard about that they were canceling the servers. And he's like, oh, crap. And so he, like, started playing it. He's like, oh, man, I want to get all that stuff. Yeah. And so has been, like, having to totally just farm stuff for the last little while in order to actually get these things. Like, they haven't announced anything, which is why people are concerned about it. But I can't help but think that it wouldn't be that, like, it seems like they would just, like, patch in some way to get this stuff offline. Like, if they don't give a shit, I guess. And unfortunately, I mean, in most cases, shit is not given. Yeah. We talked about Star Citizen. We talked about Tingle. Oh yeah, the Switch. You're familiar with the Switch, the Nintendo Switch, the fastest-selling game console in U.S. history. Yeah. The already sold more than the Wii U ever did. And as it's nice. Nintendo obviously has a pretty easy way of figuring this out because, of course, the previous fast-selling console was the Wii, and so they're like, oh hey, this has sold more, and therefore is now the fastest-selling console. Yeah. So that's. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty damn impressive. Yeah. I love that that someone was tweeting about... Especially since it's on the back of, like, 3 games. Yeah. Somebody was... I saw some good tweets that were, like, screenshots of all the takes, like, sort of mid Wii U cycle from various opinion columns about, like, Nintendo should get out of the hardware market. You know, which, I mean, at the time, it didn't seem that crazy. Looking at it now... seems completely ludicrous because look how successful the Switch is. But we didn't know, right? Like they announced the Switch and people were like, oh, that seems pretty cool. And then the Switch came out and people were like, oh, this is actually this this is really good. So I mean, I think it's like the Switch came out and it's like, okay, that's cool. And I think the Switch would have been another,
you know, another just sort of general Nintendo console, like maybe even like the Wii U. But they really, apparently they've just really nailed it with Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. And it's the combination of those games being, you know, really, really, really good.
Yeah.
And the console being relatively inexpensive.
Yeah.
Compared to the other consoles.
Yeah. And yeah, it paced out its major release as well.
That you can, that like console plus those two games as like a bundle is like, yeah, even if they never ever bring, even if they never bring out any other games, I'm willing to pay, I'm willing to buy that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, you know, they're bringing out other games, so.
There's a saying among Nintendo fans, the best Nintendo is Nintendo when they're backed into a corner. Yeah?
I realized that I didn't stop the local recording.
Oh, yeah, Paul's going to go stop the local recording. Speaking of Nintendo, when they unceremoniously shit-canned the Miiverse last November, a lot of people were bummed because of all the posts, but mostly the art, the amazing little Miiverse arts.
Yeah.
And so...
And they did it in a very, like, oh yeah, it's going away in like a month.
Yeah, Miiverse is going away, goodbye. But a team would not let that stand. A team of enthusiasts, and thanks to the efforts of Archive Team and the Internet Archive, there is now a searchable 17 terabyte archive of Miiverse. If you...
Considering that's like text and images, that's crazy.
Yeah.
We're not talking video. We're not like that's. It's a lot. It's a lot of images. Mm-hmm. The article that I found this on. They had like a couple of like saying it's pretty daunting to find anything in a 17 terabyte archive.
Yeah.
But they're saying like they had a couple of links to particularly sort of well-known people who did like art or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And one of them is a well-known artist. I forget what his name is, but it's great because you go and look at the thing, and like the first page of he's got a bunch of cool sort of black and white drawings, but a lot of them are, I wonder if Nintendo is going to ban me for this and stuff like that, or it's like complaining about Nintendo not doing well on the servers, or being being kind of not handling their moderation very well and stuff.
Also, wow, by the way, 730 viewers right now. That's, hey, awesome. Welcome. Thank you. Follow the channel if you're not following. We'll let you know next time we're live. We're also not sure when that'll be. I think it's New Day Tuesday tomorrow. Ordinarily on Monday, tonight would be Tinker Tailor Solid or Fry or Matters of Import. But Beej and Ian are both getting back from MagFest today, so I don't actually know that there's anything. There's nothing on the schedule right now, so I don't know that anything's necessarily happening, but we'll see. Itch.io or Itch.io, they host, well, they don't like actively host, but they have a system in place for game jams. And there were so many game jams last year. They saw, what's the headline? They saw 100,000 projects created and 68,000 of those completed in 2017.
There's something like 1,600 game jams. If you go to there's an awesome
Dice Friends. Sorry, Dice Friends starts next Monday.
Next Monday, yeah.
I'm coming back from PAX South. Right into that.
Actually, 3 of the 4 people are coming back from PAX South.
Oh yeah. Whee!
No, 2 of the 4, I should say.
Yes.
Right.
Anyway, sorry.
But there's a great, if you go to itch.io/jams, there's a great like Gantt chart of just that's just like the jams that are currently running. Like they have a running visualization, I guess, of the jams that are just over or just starting or currently going. And just the ones that are happening like right now or at the end of December or during January, there's like so many. Including my favorite, there's a game jam, apparently they just started the 1st of January, which goes all through January, called 2018 Finish a Game Jam.
That's good to have
finish
goals.
a game in 2018
That's
jam.
good. I like that.
Yeah.
Who is going to be at PAX South? PAX South will be myself, James, Cameron, and Beej. And we're going to have a Loading Ready Run panel. I'm going to be on the Jackbox at PAX Box panel, like immediately after that panel. And we'll have a table in Bandland all weekend and come and hang out and say hi. And I intend to do a vlog, yes, because someone asked about that.
And I believe the panel will be streamed.
Yes,
I think we are in one of the stream places, so I guess we'll try to like host that.
Some people, if you didn't see, some people in chat were asking, we put up a YouTube update on the YouTube channel talking about some forthcoming stuff, such as Dice Friends, the stream we're adding to the channel. Is going to be Monday nights. It's a D&D time slot. It's going to start with a campaign that Dale is DMing with myself, Paul, Kathleen, and Beej. And it's set in the Forgotten Realms. And that'll go for some number of weeks, basically until Dale has to leave and go do theater again. We enticed him away from doing local theater, which is his usual hobby. And then the time slot is going to be a mixture of like longer seasons of campaigns, but also one-shot stuff. So we have some things planned for when the campaign with Dale is over. There's nothing to say it's exclusively D&D.
Yeah, it's just tabletop gaming or RPG.
Yeah,
tabletop RPG stuff.
Yeah, because some people were asking, is it always going to be those players? No. Is it always going to be that DM? No. Is it always going to be that RP system? No. But there's a home for that now. So so we're excited about that. What's the time in GMT? Whatever 5 p.m. plus 8 is. Sorry. And then, also something else that we just started this morning is a new podcast miniseries with James and Matt called Countdown to Infinity. It's a Marvel Cinematic Universe rewatch podcast. It has to start now because they're doing a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie every week up until Avengers Infinity War comes out. So Iron Man went up this morning, and then next week is Hulk, and then after that I think it's Thor or Iron Man 2. I'm not entirely sure.
Iron Man 2 is pre-Thor.
Well, then Iron Man 2 probably. So Tinker Tailor and Matters of Import are going to be moving to Tuesday nights. So basically that alternating block of those two shows is just shifts a day, and then James is going to find a new home for one more. So
we're obviously we're going to be shuffling the schedule a little bit in 2018.
Yeah.
In addition to the Dice Friends thing, the planning for that has been slightly delayed because of everyone going away to MagFest and now to PAX South. But once everyone comes back and we're sort of back together, we're going to be doing a little bit of a revamp on the schedule to see if there's anything that can be shifted around.
I thought one more was just a floating show. Yeah, yeah. Spoilers, both James and Matt are pro Marvel. I mean, yeah. What?
They wouldn't be doing a rewatch thing for a...
I mean, I know that people like negative content, but I don't think it'd be that good to just hear James and Matt shit on different movies every week if they didn't like them. I mean, you can go watch other channels for that, I guess. Sidewalk Slam update. Yeah, we've recorded Clash of Champions. Ben gets back from MagFest today, and then he's going to start working on that. And then someone else was asking, is Running Start canceled? No, we just didn't get a chance to like work it back into the system after the move, because we had the Moonbase move, and then PAX, and then Desert Bus, and then the holidays and any downtimes in there. There was also like pre-releases or other sort of events. So we plan on bringing that back. It's on a hiatus.
Yeah. Oh, and for the Countdown to Infinity, it will definitely be coming up on iTunes. It's already, if you're subscribed to the podcast,
The aggregate
feed that has all our stuff, it's in there already. It will also be in iTunes as its own feed, but it just has to get approved by Apple. So it has been submitted for approval from Apple, and there's no reason why it wouldn't be approved. So presumably it will be available as its own feed in the next couple days.
Yeah. So Admiral Mamo, not necessarily. So Matters of Import and TTSF are moving to Tuesdays, but not until next week. I don't think they're doing it tomorrow, because tomorrow is actually there's a schedule.
Yes.
It's New Day Tuesday, one more, and then Adam's Game House, apparently.
Yeah, Adam is, because there's the new Monster Hunter?
Oh, yes, of course there would be. Shut up, Steve Beach.
So I think that's the case, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll probably try to do, we'll do like another...
Roger Ivani? Yeah, I know. I tweeted about this morning, that I said, normally, when we're like naming a new show or starting a new project, we do try to do our due diligence and like check online to make sure that no one else is doing this, like using the same name or whatever. And when I looked, nobody else was doing a podcast called Countdown to Infinity about an MCU rewatch. But then they all started now. There's like three others.
Everybody worked out that the number of weeks you need to do it.
Yeah.
Means that everyone starts at the same time.
So I think there's like 4 with the same name and concept. And so at that point, if it's like if there'd been a show that had been around for a while called Countdown to Infinity about talking about Marvel, I'd be like, but they're all doing the same thing just with different people. So I'm like, well, I guess it's a genre now. So this is Loading Ready Run presents Countdown to Infinity with James and Matt.
Yes.
So
Countdown to Infinity, the internet's 3rd most popular Countdown to Infinity podcast.
Yeah. Crisis on Infinite Podcast.
I can't back that up. I don't know whether we're the 3rd most popular.
Yeah. No, we don't want to rebrand. We've done all the thing. Yeah, we're throwing our hat into the Infinity Ring. I'll be in the Royal Rumble of Countdown to Infinities. And beyond. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, Pandas and Pancakes. Everyone should have distinct voices, right? Like, everyone's going to... You probably listen to some of the other ones. Maybe they will disagree.
That was the problem when we were doing Fight the Future. Is my brother and I don't really have distinct voices. People couldn't tell us apart.
That's not actually what I meant, but yeah, okay, fair enough, yeah. Which one's Paul and which one's Dan? It's Paul and Dan. Oh, I gotta stop drinking that.
Almost done.
I really muscled through it.
Yeah.
We ran out of milk, and I don't typically drink coffee black. And
I like my coffee like I like my women, with lots of
milk.
Milk? I don't know.
Oh, there's no way out of that joke.
No.
There's no way that no. Don't care for it.
Yeah. Watered down?
No. No. There's no way that's not
cold and watered.
Ethically sourced.
Cold and watered down.
Yeah. Covered in bees. I don't like that on either of those things. Right, that was the Eddie Izzard bit. Yeah, I like my coffee in a plastic cup.
Yeah.
What? Anyway,
yes. Also, yes. Speaking of Fight the Future, there's a Mortal Engines movie coming out. It's amazing.
Holy shit! I saw the trailer for that.
The trailer is so good.
Looks bonkers.
Well, yeah. The trailer. It's what I love about it is I had seen the trailer, and I read the book, and we did the thing, and I forget who it was. I was showing the trailer to somebody else, and there's just like the opening scene of the city going along, and I was like, "That's London." And then in the trailer, the people look up and they're like, That's London.
I love that St. Paul's Cathedral is still like hanging around in there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it'll actually be any good, but visually it should be exciting anyway.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so I think that's it. Like you said, there's currently nothing on the schedule for tonight.
It's entirely possible that someone will...
that might change, and if it doesn't, then I'm sure the various Loading Ready Run Friends streams may do things, but yeah, we'll put a thing on Slack being like, if anybody wants to stream, go ahead and do it. But yes, thank you all for joining us on this, the first
checkpoint of the new year.
By the way,
we should welcome subs.
Yes, we should. Right. And by the way, we've actually, you see, we're in the studio again. Here.
Studio B.
And we think we're probably going to be doing checkpoint in this studio from now on.
We did a lot of playing around with the other one and experimenting and stuff, and it's like the balance between like we get to use the studio cameras and the lights weighed against how fucking long that took to set up and get right every single week, because so much stuff happens in that studio that things get moved around all the time, and we determined, as nice as it looks, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's a big part of why we kept running late, too. So, now we're here. Someone at the moon base. Oh, hi.
So, let's do this thing. Oh, I need to actually load it up with the person who's going to start it. Talk amongst yourselves, by which I mean talk to yourself.
What's up? What's up, chat? How's it going? What you got going on later? That vague reflection of the TV. Did that even... I don't think that came across. Yeah, I like this set too. I like the idea of an actual moon base with a doorbell. Yeah, can you imagine everyone sitting inside the moon base having like their astronaut rations and the doorbell rings and they're like...
Isn't that like a Doctor Who? No, there's a Doctor Who thing where it's like a guy's like in like a moon, or like a moon base or a base on like a barren planet, and there's a knock on the door.
That sounds amazing.
And it's like, oh shit.
That's a terrific start. That's really good. Yeah, we would like to do more Magnum rewatch. It's just a matter of finding the time. We're both
to be clear. It's not like you're watching Magnum but not doing a podcast about it right now.
No, we haven't continued past where we recorded.
So don't worry, you aren't missing any hot Magnum takes.
No, it's just we're both really busy doing all the other stuff.
All right, let's see if this works. And let's do some welcoming, starting with this person.
Ariel Santibanez, a new Patreon supporter. Hey, thank you, Ariel.
Two Flower for 53 months. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you, Two Flower.
Faded Oasis with a 10-month resub. I think 53 is the theoretical max then, because Two Flowers in there right at the
Mirnus for 49 months. So many sub babies.
All these babies. Drago Fur with a 12-month resub. It's been 1 year since I subbed to you, but it still be 1 month till another thank you. That is correct. Thank you.
The TheGcsmith for 5 months. 5 months. Where's my life gone? Oh, right, watching your stream.
Mangled Pixel, 52 months. 52 is an untouchable number, a positive integer that cannot be expressed as the sum of all proper divisors of any positive integer. I believe you. I don't know enough to disagree.
WNemic for 48 months. 48 months, that's almost 48 months.
Trombone Hero.
Rocktopuss. He's a new subscriber. Nice name.
Gravitycannon with a 6-month resub says,
Kifeto for 4 months.
Sam Wonk with an 18-month resub. In lieu of actual repayment for joy, have some Amazon money. Hey,
Yay.
you know what? We'll take it. Thank you.
Peachy Preto for 14 months. Yay, New Year, more lure. Thank you for teaching my wife and I to Winston draft.
Hey.
We have really enjoyed that and are going to our first pre-release this weekend.
Sweet. Blind Prophet 32 with a 9-month resub.
ProfBlahson for 7 months. Start of the sub baby's 3rd trimester.
Captain Falafel with a 49-month resub. 49 months. I'm starting to feel old. That's okay.
Derokin for 46 months.
Siluf, hey, welcome. New subscriber. Just rediscovered us after a decade and they're in. Thank you.
Gnome Boy for 17 months. Ferret Badger 84 is back, having made a dubious
Name change. Lady Amathea 13 with a 13-month resub. Lucky number month. It's Amalthea. Oh, I missed it.
Moonspeak.
Tell me how to pronounce it.
721. My button turned purple. Here's Amazon money.
Thank you. Bronzefinger with a 49-month resub. Welcome back.
The Icy Hand of Death for 19 months.
Freddy is a new Patreon supporter. Thank you, Freddy.
Bishop Saul's Pants.
To
for
Queen
14
5.
months.
Netto1992 with a new sub. Welcome to the channel.
Modirin for 15 months.
Modrin. Wizard Zedd, 53-month resub. 53 is the 16th prime number. I believe you. I don't have time to check this.
Hakaturi for 19 months. Let's just slide this in.
And thanks for 251 bits from Earthen One, Rock Pusher, and Psychic Ketchup. So Ferret Badger rebranded as Gnome Boy? Is that what I'm taking away from that? All right.
Is a strategic pivot in marketing. The board met and decided that they wanted to go in a different direction.
We're trying to activate new demographic verticals.
Yeah. And promote brand synergy
Gnome
between
Boy.
our other boy brands, I guess.
Amalthea. Amalthea. I say Lady Amalthea. Is it not the? Is it the? I thought I was saying Lady Amalthea correctly. Now I don't know anymore.
No rules means no pants.
No pants means no rules.
I mean, that's true. But then again, I feel like bishops do have like a lot of rules generally.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess there could be, there's probably like rebellious bishops. But maybe I don't think they stay bishops for very long.
Probably not. At least they probably ought not to. All right. That is going to do it for the stream.
They were robes too. So they may not actually wear pants.
Oh, yeah. Wait, yeah.
I don't know if they have pants
Maybe
on
every
them.
bishop is a bishop sans pants.
Maybe they have pants on under the robes. I don't
You
know.
know what they have under the robes? Those little boards. The what do they call them? The 2-wheel gyroscopy things.
Oh, the hoverboards?
Hoverboards. Yeah. So they can just be like.
That's why they can only move diagonally.
Yeah, that's how they get around the Vatican. Just diagonally. Yeah.
That's not just a chest thing. That's actually real.
That's how bishops move. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It used to be a lot harder. It used to have to be sort of like a whole unicycle scenario. Hoverboards have really changed the game.
Yeah.
I think the inventor's going to get a sainthood. It's going to do it for today. Someone might come in later today to do something, I don't know, watch the skies, by which I mean Twitter or this channel or whatever. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Bye everybody.
Bye.
We weren't ready. We weren't ready to sign off.
Bye. I'm still saying goodbye. Bye.